Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to the apostles. And salutations you brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. And hey, this is another episode of Spirits Like the Wind. And basically we're going to go into Esau being the ruler at the end times, man. All right. You want me to get the Hebrews 1 for you?
Yeah.
Okay, this Hebrews 1, I'm going to start at 1. Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. He in these last days.
Now the prophets have been since the beginning. All right, so it says God who at sundry times and in diverse manners spoke in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. You know, even before the law came, it was an oral the law, or let me say the law written on stone. You know, it was an oral law. All right, that's how even Cain, you know, he sinned. You know, what is sin? Transgression of the law. Cain and Abel was before Moses brought the law that was written on stone, you know, on tablets, right? And so what did Cain do? He brought some fruit to sacrifice as opposed to some livestock, some blood, all right, that had to be sacrificed. And he said, hey, if you do well, you know, if you do not well, then sin lieth at the door. You know, he transgressed. So the prophets was there in the beginning. But now,
this is Luke 1:70, real fast. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
The prophets have been since the world began. All right.
That's how Lord talked to Adam.
All right.
It says, that's how he's speaking to our fathers. That would include Adam.
That's right.
The voice.
All right. So that was in times past. Now, verse 2.
Hebrews 1 and 2. Has in these last days spoken unto us by his son.
All right. So now it's spoken unto us in these, hath in these last days. So in these last days, spoken unto us by his son, our Lord and Savior, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. But his name, only name, which is a Hebrew name, is Yahweh Shai. All right. So these is when the last days started, when Yahweh Shai was on the scene. The last days started right here. Okay. And I got it. Did you want to finish that?
Kind of will. And I'm gonna make a quick point.
Kind of.
All right, this is Hebrews 1 and 2. He had in these last days spoken to us by his son. And the point I want to make is, you know, people, because people like to get prideful. See, we don't need men and teachers. We can get it for ourselves. Yahweh Shai speaking to all of us. He's just how the Lord speaks to us now by his son. No, because John 17:20 says that they should believe on me through their word. He still used the prophets, but now his son is made manifest as his son, and that's who speaks to his prophets, the son. And the men of the Lord go out, his disciples, Isaiah 8 and like 18, sealed up amongst my disciples. His disciples go out and bring forth what he said, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lord changed not. It's like,
no, and he said that when he go, he's gonna do what? He's gonna, when he dies, you know, and rise again, go to the Father, open up the seals. He's gonna send the Comforter down, which is the Holy Spirit, which is the understanding of these words, the truth.
And how do you get that?
Through the men that he sent. All right, that he put the Spirit on.
Yep.
The hands of the presbytery.
That's right.
Or the elders.
Just to prove that, what did Simon try to do? He tried to buy it. Because what? Because he seen that through the land on the hands of the apostles that they received it.
Yep.
So he went to Peter and tried to buy it, man.
Right.
You know, so all you got to get it from a man, man. You know.
That's right. Yeah.
So Salaki. It's Hebrews 1 and 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his son, whom we have the appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
All right. So now we have to understand what was going on when Yahweh Shai was on the scene. You know, they were being ran, all right, by the Romans. All right. They were basically because they had set up a puppet leader, you know, over Israel. All right, the Herod and them, the Herods, you know, and basically Herod was over saying that he was the king of the Jews, you know, and basically those that basically, like, even when they came to Yahushua, you know, and Yahushua told them, hey, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, you know, paying that tribute and, you know, things of that nature. Who was Caesar? Was an Edomite, a so-called white person. All right. So this is the point that we're making, that in these last days, when Yahushua was on the scene, our Lord and Savior was on the scene, the Romans was in power, who were Edomites. All right. And today they would call them so-called white people. The so-called white people was ruling in the last days. All right. So we have to get that understanding now. So since we have the understanding of Yahushua being on the scene in the last days, Romans was on top and running stuff. All right. Because the scriptures talk about how, matter of fact, let me hit this real quick. Ecclesiastes, because Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom, all right, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right. So the people are going to have a kingdom, meaning they're going to be ruling at this particular time. All right. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. For instance, you had, you know, the vision of Daniel, how the Babylonians was going to be ruling at one point. All right. That was that head. Right. Then it was going to be translated unto the Medo-Persian. All right. Then that's another nation outside of the Babylonians. That's a different nation. All right. They started to reign. All right. Then after the Medo-Persians, then the Greeks came into power. That's another nation. All right. And now when the Greeks came into power, just like amongst Jacob, we different nations too. So Esau and his different tribes and families are different nations too. All right. So you had those Greeks, which were still Edomites. That's when the Edomites came into power. All right. Then after the Edomites, then the Romans. So after when the Romans took over the Greeks, the kingdom was translated from the Greeks to the Romans. Then when that was the case, Yahushua came on the scene. He was born. All right. And you got that? Yeah.
You want to start at one?
No. Hit verse. Yeah.
The second edges 6 and 8.
Oh, you start at 7.
Oh yeah, it's 7.
The second edges 6 and 7. Then answered I said and Glucky. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
So Esdras asked the question. All right. He said, when shall be the end of the first? All right. Now back in Hebrews chapter 1:1, it says, God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. So the time passed from the beginning of time, all right, up until these last days. All right. This is what happened. Now, during these last days, all right, then he spoke to us by his son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom so he also made the world. So after these last days would be coming the destruction of this present evil world in this time. From the beginning in verse 1 that it talks about in times past to the last days and the end of the last days, because the last days are coming to an end because they're the last days, right? Right? If it's the last days is going to come finally to an end at some point, right?
Yep.
And so Esdras was asking a question. All right, we understand that there was time past, there was a beginning, and then we understand that there were some last days. But then after the last days end, this was a question that he was asking. Read it again.
This is second Ezra 6 and 7.
Uh-huh.
Then answered and I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Uh-huh.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followed?
Right. So the end of the first. The first was this present evil world that we in right now, that we're in the last days of. Actually, we're, since the last days started when Yahweh Shah was on the scene, now we're at the end of the end.
That's right.
All right. Right here was the beginning of the end. When Yahweh in second Ezra, Hebrews, when Yahweh Shah came on the scene that we read about having these last days. All right, that was the beginning of the last days.
That's right.
Now we're at the end of the last days. But the point is that Esdras asked the question, wait, well, when is going to be the end of these days?
Oh.
And when is going to be the beginning of the days that follow this time? Read.
It's like, because a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. But these the last couple days, man. These the last couple days of this place, man. And like Ezra said, the Lord split this up into 12 parts, man. These are the last couple days of this thing, of living and dying, going through the cycle. These last a little bit over 2,000 years. Now we at the end of those days. The end of the end, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Keep reading.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So Esau is the end of the world. In these last days that we read about, when Yahweh Shah was on the scene, it says, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his son. That's the last days. Who was in power at that time? The Romans. Esau. Read.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
And that was Paul right there. Now he came on the scene after Yahweh Shah had risen. All right. And then Yahweh Shah came to him in his glory, and taught him. All right. And guess who was still running shit?
Yep.
Esau, Edom, the Romans,
Mm-hmm.
the Edomites, so-called white people. All right. It says the mystery of iniquity doth already work. All right. They're already in their work. They're already in their power. All right. Go ahead.
It says, verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Mystery of iniquity, right? It says, then shall he be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
That's right. And so right now it's being revealed. You have the men of the Lord that's blowing the trumpet.
That's right.
All right. You have the men of the Lord that's now out ridding the people out of the hand of the wicked. How are we ridding the people out of the hand of the wicked? The people is talking about Israel. All right. And first and foremost, the elect. All right. Because those are the ones that's going to hear and receive that. Yep. These are the wicked. All right. We should not listen to them. We should not take heed to what they're saying and believe in what they're saying. Okay. You got to go ahead. Yep.
This is Matthew 11 and 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. And the Lord said, what, man? When they say, lo, the kingdom is here, lo, the kingdom is there. No, the kingdom is within you, man. So we're a people before we're a place. You see? It says, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So who was Yahweh Shah speaking of back then, man? He said from the days of John the Baptist until now, the violent take it by force. Who was that violent? This is Psalms 140 and 4. It says, keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. There go that mystery of iniquity, that wicked again, right? Preserve me from the violent man, who have purposed to overthrow my goings, man. And who have done that, man? It says what? He lays snares privily. You know, Malachi 1 says what, man? You shall call them the border of wickedness, man. So we know who this guy is, you know.
Read that again, brother.
This is the Psalms.
Yeah.
Psalms 140:4. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The scripture that you was reading right before that.
Okay. This is Matthew 11 and verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
So even from John the Baptist, all right, because he was born a few months before Yahushua, and same people was ruling.
That's right.
All right, same people was doing those things to the Israelites, which was the Romans, Esau, Edom, so-called white people, the wicked. Okay, they were in power, they were in rulership. In them last days, it was Esau, Edom. All right, the Romans. You have to understand that.
Can I read something for you?
Absolutely.
This is Luke 2:1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Who had Caesars, man? All right, that would be the Romans.
Romans.
That's who was ruling back then, man.
That's right. Yep. And all the world should be taxed. All right. Oikomene, the known world.
Right.
And that's what they was ruling.
Divided, take it by force. Man.
And that's what they did. All right. That's what they did. And they was jacking up also the kingdom of heaven, which are the Israelites. It's a people before it's a place.
That's right.
All right. That brother read that as well. All right.
Give you an excerpt out of this.
Absolutely.
This is the book called The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomite, 1853 by William Beeston. I'm gonna go to page 9. I'm gonna just read a little paragraph. It says the Romans came from Esau, who is Edom. In Italy is the Idumea, Rome the Basra of the Hebrew prophets, man. You know, but today is what? America, man, which is that Roman Empire all over again.
That's right.
So this is what the Most High does, man. He sets up one, takes one down, and it's all for a purpose. You know, like that quote Bing Rames from that movie Con Air. There's a means to an end. You know, there's a means to an end.
My white friend.
But yeah, there's a means to an end, my white friend. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. It says, the power of the earth, he will set over it. You see, the Lord sets over and puts a nation into power and takes them down and puts up another and takes them down and puts up another. All right. It says the power of the earth of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right. See, because right now, who's being set over it are these heathen nations. But right now, in particular, starting off with the last days, all right, it was Esau, Edom. All right, you got something, bro?
That's Job 9:24.
Perfect.
The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it?
Because at this point in time, right now, that Esau, Edom has been, reigning the longest. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think of the time of the Egyptians, you think of the time of the Babylonians, you think of the time that we had. You know what I'm saying? You think of the time of the Greeks, the Medo-Persians. You know, matter of fact, let me say the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians. Then when the Greeks came in power, all right, from the Greeks up until now. Now there was a 1,000 years in between that, you know what I'm saying, where they got taken out of the way real quick, but then they came, that deadly wound was healed, all right, and they came back, you know, starting off with what was it, Great Britain, which America is spawned out of, Okay, and so all these things had to happen, but the point, guess what? All these things had to happen for a reason. But the point is, at that time that Yahweh Shai, was on the scene, it was the Edomites that was in power.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. That fourth beast. And this is Acts the first chapter, right? This is Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Why we asked this question? Because they knew that when Yahushua came, that we was to get the rulership back. But as it was established in 2nd Andrew 6, though, it said we would get this rulership from who? The hands of Esau. They did not say we would pull on his heel, right?
That's right.
This is Daniel 7. I'm gonna hit 18 and read down if y'all don't mind, man.
Oh, you got to.
This is Daniel 7 and 18. But in fact, I'm gonna start at 17. This is Daniel 7 and 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall rise out of the earth. And just talk, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Going back into the second age, we're going to take the kingdom. We're going to pull down the last kingdom of this beast. All right, because the last kingdom of this beast, we're going to judgment, man. All right, and when you read through this, it's plain who these are, because he had another vision, and explains how the rough goat was Grisha, etc. Man, it breaks down who the kingdoms are.
Right.
Tells you that Nebuchadnezzar would be the first one. He was the first ruler. All right. Then down to Media Persia. Then down to Greece. Who ruled after Greece? Rome. It's really simple. It's prophecy, but it's really just it's in chronological order.
Right.
Babylon, Media Persia, Greece, Rome. Right. So I'm gonna keep going. It's Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, forever and ever. But guess what? When Yahushua came and lived and died, we didn't possess the kingdom after that. Because there was more that was written that had to happen, man. In particular, even at the end of this chapter, it tells you that. This doesn't read straight through. It tells you the Romans gonna rule. All right, that fourth beast, they're gonna get destroyed. It don't tell you right in between that, well, first they're gonna rule, then fall, then come back. But it does tell you at the end of the chapter that they're gonna fuck you up. All right, that 70 AD was gonna happen. So it tells you that after Yahushua died, that we was gonna have to go through more hell, and then we was gonna take the kingdom. But you gotta have understanding of that, man. So I'm gonna keep going. Daniel 7 and 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which is diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were like of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. There's not a quote that says the shadow of Rome is fast. They had control over basically the whole known world back then, man.
That's right. That's that fourth beast, that Roman Empire.
That's right. And it was diverse from all other beasts, man. They had a senate. They didn't have just the king. They had a senate. Just like this place here in America, this is Rome all over again. They have a senate. A senate with voted officials, man. A voted ruler, man. Okay?
Right, the plebeians and the patricians.
That's right.
The Romans had.
Yep. They had a Republican and Democrat. That's right, man. That's right.
Hey, just like the Democrat is supposed to be the people rule. That was the plebeians. You know what I'm saying? Because it meant people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the patricians, the basically the fathers. Go ahead.
Right. Sluggy. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. Look, there was going to be another horn that came that was going to fuck with the saints again. And that would be what? America, man. That came out of that took down the 3, as according to Revelation, would be Spain, France, and Britain, man. That's the 3 horns that it overcame.
Right.
All right, and then Revelation even explains he was of the I believe of the 6th or of the 7th.
Yeah.
He was of the 7th. All right, because he came out of Great Britain, man. America is a spawn base. You got it?
Yeah, I got you right here.
Guns.
This is Wisdom of Solomon. This is Revelation 17:9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come.
Right, and at that time, the 1 is was wrong.
That's right.
You know, at the time, 1 is because that's when John the Revelator was on the island of Patmos, and he said, "And 1 is." That was, you know, some years after Yahushua had been crucified and risen. Okay, so the Romans, Edomites, so-called white people, were still in power at this time.
Hey, because that ancient Roman structure, like the brother Ratazwanian mentioned, man, he said Rome pretty much captured the whole known world during that time. So the 5 heads that was taken down was the Greeks, because the Romans absorbed the Greeks, right? Germania Minor, Spain, which was known as Hispaniola back then, and France, which was known as the Gauls. Those were those 5 that were fallen. That 1 that is was Rome, like the Eliakim just said, right? Yep. And it says, and the other is not yet come. That other one was Great Britain, right? England, that's right. It says, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. It says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition, man. Yep. Because
I was about to say, and that 8th is America.
That's right.
All right, that come from the 7th. All right. See, and then that's why even the 8th America that come from the 7th. That's why they got that whole Independence Day. They tried to they was getting away from the rule of Great Britain. Yep.
And then because this is the same beast that Daniel seen. John is seeing the same beast.
Same exact.
And that beast had what? 7 heads. So then you would ask, well, the 8th, it said it's an 8th head. Well, that 7th head, this is Revelation 13. I get straight to the point. In verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. So that one that was, the one that is, during the time that John was writing this, was Rome. And what happened to Rome? Rome was taken down, man. That was that deadly wound.
Yep.
And guess what happened, man? You know, out of Britain came that power structure again, man, which revived that head, which is what? The Roman head, man. And that's how you get America coming out of what? Great Britain, man. Because this is that whole system starting back again.
That's right.
Because how did America take down Spain, France, and what was the third one? In Britain. That's the same power structure coming back, man. You know.
That's right. Because they took down those same people.
You
know? Like you said, Hispaniola, Gaul.
Yeah.
So this is back in Daniel 7. And
it's like brother. I finished it off. I'm gonna read it again. Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. What they call it, the Treaty of Rome. I think it was signed in 1940 something or 30 something, if I'm not mistaken. That was the what, man? That was the formation of the EU, the European Union, man. It says
those 10 horns.
Yep, those 10 horns. Yep.
The same. There you go. The 10 horns, man.
And it says, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Because what happened? The beast stepped over the world again. This time it got the fullness of the world, man. This is Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished.
That deadly wound being healed.
3. Make sure you say it again. All right. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons and the wilderness. And I believe, don't it tell you in Revelation that this place, that he should leave this place for the dragons? All right, tell you in Jeremiah as well, man. The dragon's gonna, meaning desert animals, gonna dwell here, man.
Even in Baruch.
That's right. And Esau Edom, guess what? He is that dragon. He is that dragon, man. He's a hill. The vision that was it Mordecai? Mordecai had. He saw Esau as a dragon. Job said, "I'm a brother to dragons." Revelation calls that kingdom that was ruling. Revelation 12th chapter, because who came to kill Yahweh when he was a baby? those Edomites, those Romans, okay, they called them what? The dragon. That old serpent. That's Esau, Edom. I'm gonna keep going. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
There your Renaissance, man. You know, so the Lord destroyed them. That hit that deadly had a wound unto death. And then what happened, man? The Renaissance happened, man. Revelation, the 20th chapter, it says that he must be loose for a little season.
Right.
And that was when that wound was healed.
Because the devil getting put away for 1,000 years was him being chased, like Job, the 20th chapter, he was chased away from the earth as a thief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 30th chapter, Slocky. Because the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy, man.
That's right.
All right, so he was chased away as a thief. And where did he go? Into the Caucasus Mountains. He that dwelt in the clefts of the rocks. That's an attribute to Esau, Edom, man. All right, and those 1,000 years called the Dark Ages. After that was up, he came out. All right, got the papacy.
Yep, we talking around what, the 1300s, somewhere around there, because the pagan Roman Empire was taken down about right around like 325 A.D. You know, in its totality, which it turned into the Holy Roman Empire, which wasn't so holy, you know. But after that 1,000 years, then Esau, Edom, just like the brother was saying, you know, they came back in. You know, and this is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
To fulfill these prophecies.
That's right. That's right. The last days prophecy.
That's it.
Esau will rule.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he will have these horns. These horns will fall. Okay. Then the saints will get fucked up by him. All right. Esau will be chased away from the earth because it says he is impoverished. He'll be chased out the earth as a thief. All right. It says the Ecclesiastes, the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, King Solomon talks about the fool that cometh to rule out of the prison. The king that cometh to rule out of prison, man. We're just talking about who? The same Job 30, man. That fool, the demon younger than I that was chased away. The same younger than I that's ruling over us in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Which is Esau Edom, man.
Oh.
It's Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the house of hosts, they shall build. So that was the plan. You will be taken down and come back. All right. But I will throw down so the Lord can destroy you officially, man.
Yep.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness and the people against whom the Lord indignation forever. Because the Lord said he's going to come out for that 1,000 years to deceive the world for a little season. And that's what you're doing, man. So you can get this great story. The whole world can know, look, this motherfucker is the devil.
Mm.
All right? The whole world's going to know, man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Romans, the Greeks, and really imposter Greeks, imposter Romans, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Is the devil. The fact you think he were the real Romans is the proof that he's the devil. Proof that he's that vagabond. Okay? The people of the Lord's curse, man. The seed of Cain. His ass calling himself the South Africans. He took over Africa after apartheid. Now, yeah, I'm South African. Bitch, you're an Edomite, man. You just conquered this place.
Oh.
So there's something?
Yeah, this Revelation 6, verse 4. And they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And who was that talking about, man? Talking about Esau, Edom, man.
Well, even in Maccabees, it says this. Now, this is when they first came into power, you know, through Alexander the Great. This is in your history books. It says, this is First Maccabees chapter 1 and 6. It says, wherefore he called his servants. We're talking about Alexander. Alexander called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So just like the brother was saying, when these people came on the scene and the Lord had set them up to be in rulership, it says then evils were multiplied in the earth. Just like Habakkuk said, they wind up and they heap it to themselves all nations, all people, and they claim to be them. Just like part of one of the four Ptolemy, they went down into Egypt and became the Egyptians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the Egyptians turned from purple, dark skin motherfuckers to this pale skinned bastard.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The Cleopatras and so on and so forth, man. You know, Esau, they calling themselves Pharaoh, you know, and things of that nature.
Mhm.
That's when they came on the scene. All right. Go ahead.
I got two for you back here real fast.
Come.
Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth. So it said what? Evils were multiplied on the earth, man. Why? Because the wicked multiplied, man. You know,
That's it.
he got into power, you know what I'm saying? And what happened, man? You know, he spread out his wickedness, It says, but the righteous shall see their fall. And that goes to Jacob doing what, man? Holding that heel, right? I got another one. This is Psalms 12 and verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted, you know? And look at the state of this world now, man. It's wickedness everywhere, man. It ain't just Esau wicked, Jake ass wicked. He overdoing the deeds of the wicked, man.
Well, they drinking of his cup. I mean,
That's
they're
right.
drinking of his philosophies, and and that's why even these nations are mad, you know, because they see that they have been duped.
That's
You
right.
know, go
They're
ahead.
starting to realize that they deceived, man. And especially off the money. Because, see, that's important. The Lord is so fucking cold, man. It says the love of money is the root of all evil, man. So that's your biggest idol. And it says what? Idolatry is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all things. So this idol that you follow is actually going to be the end of this shit, right? Now, basically what Esau did was trick everybody to follow in line with America and get on a fiat currency, man. To get involved with IMF, the IMF banks. All right? But what are they seeing now? Like James the 5th chapter says, the rust of this money shall be a witness against thee. All the heathens, like it says, they drunk in this cup and are mad. How long shall you heap up this damn debt? Now the heathens like, look, we fucked up because when this place crashed, we gonna fucking crash. Now that y'all trying to figure out and scramble how to fix shit, and who they still following after Esau, now that y'all ready to go digital. They didn't learn a lesson, now y'all ready to go digital. But they realized that they was tricked by this fucking whore over here in America, man. They trying to find every way out of this shit, man. Because this economy crashing is that rust of proof that Esau Edom is the fucking devil, man. All right, this plague, hey, these other heathens are pissed that all these fucking homosexuals are in their land. All right, all this shit is a witness that Esau is the devil. The Lord had you in the trick, but he let you gain everything so the world can know this is the devil. Don't follow this example, man.
That's right.
Hey, the board of wickedness to show you be called, man. The whole damn planet is becoming hip to you, man. Especially because the men of the Lord are prophesying this word, man.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, the whole world is seeing him for the devil he is. That Psalms just said, when the vilest man, he's the vilest. You know what I'm saying? In Ezekiel, it says, the Lord said, I will send unto thee the worst of the heathen.
That's right.
You know, and everybody's seeing that, man.
I can preach that for you. It's Psalms 58. Now I'm gonna start at 1. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O son of man? Ye in heart ye work wickedness, and ye weigh the violence of your hand in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. And who was that talking about, man? Talking about Esau Edom, man.
Yeah, and but them lies be very smooth, very peaceable, you know, just like the scriptures say, man, they were peaceable words, man, but inward they were drawn swords, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is his MO. See, but the Lord has set them, matter of fact, Job 9:24 again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the one that could give the earth into someone's hand? It's the Most High God, Yahweh. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. What do the wicked do? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If you cover something, then cover it with something else, then basically that's a lie. That's deceit. All right? And this is what this devil has done. All right? That's why the foundations of the earth are out of course. That's why our people that has basically went along with what this devil says, you know, are in the predicament that they're in right now. You know, that's why our people are lost right now. That's why our people are just, I mean, you got all manner of wickedness in our people, man. All right. And that's because they have been listening to their captors. The scripture tells us to never trust thine enemy. All right. To never trust thine enemy. He's never became our friend. When they brought us over here and they in cargo slave ships, and then before we even came over here, our brothers, the Taino Indians, you know, who were the Northern Kingdom tribes, all right, they took them to Spain in cargo slave ships, all right, and look what they did to their land. Stole their land. They did all manner of things. All kind of wickedness has spread. Okay. And now our people have took to their lies, and now when we come with the truth, we the bad guys.
Because look what you said. Our people took to their lies, man. Hey, Esau was ruling it and deceiving the people, even back during the time of the Romans and the Greeks. And Maccabees said what? We opened up the book. You got it? Oh, we opened up the book of the law.
This is First Maccabees 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And who was, man, they just fucked me up. And who was ruling, man? Esau, Edom, the wicked who got the earth, right?
That's right.
The earth was given to the hands of the wicked, right? It's Ephesians 2:2. Wherein in time past he walked according to the course of this world, right? The mindset of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, which is what? The ruler of this world, man. The one who received it, which is the wicked, right? And it says what? The mystery of iniquity doth already work. So this same ruler back in is the one ruling now, man.
That's it.
All right, because Job 9:24 is at its all-time high, man. They completely, exactly. All right, the end it shall speak. The prophecies fulfilled more and more at the end, man. Now they fully covered everything during the Renaissance, iconoclasm. Look it up. All right, you can see pictures of them actually taking paintings and counterfeiting them by hand, man. Drawing the same black image that they see here, drawn in pale face, man. Okay? Wherein in time past he walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. That mindset that was put on our people, man. Because what does it say? John 8:44, he called them when they fathered the devil. He said he was a murderer from the beginning. So his legislation talking about a man. All right, he was a murderer and a liar. That same man, that mystery of iniquity, that same old serpent, that dragon that was ruling, the prince of the power of the air, that same one. All right, Edom, the Romans. Can you hit that? John 14.
I had the one in John.
Okay, whatever.
12. This is John 12 and verse 31. It says, "Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out."
Hey, who was that prince? John 14:30. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me. Who was coming, man? Who came and snatched him up? Well, he didn't speak to him. Pilate, Pontius Pilate, man. He didn't. He said he didn't open his mouth. Prince, the Edomites, man, the Romans, the Americans, which is Rome, are back again.
That's it.
With the rest of the EU, because that's the beast system. All right. That's the beast system. The rest of these crackers are with them, man.
Yep.
So you can't get around it. You can't get around it. Esau, Edom. Hey, if you accept that they the Romans, because Esau, they were the Romans, well, motherfucker, where do you think you come from? You're the same race as the Romans.
That's it.
Then you're saying you are the Edomites. But they the devil, so they got to try to smooth it over somehow. Well, my forefathers were the Edomites. I'm not. The fuck? This is back in Daniel 7, and what I leave off at 21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. All right. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. Rome got the whole known earth. This America got the whole earth, man.
Yep.
Because this is Rome all over again. This is the fulfillment of it. All right. And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings. So let you know that each beast is its own kingdom. You can't get out that jam, man. Babylon, Media, Persia, Greek, Rome. That was the order of the rulers. Even your own history proves that. You fucking devils, man.
Yep.
And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise. And another shall arise after them. He shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Hey, and that's what the iron mixed with clay, man. And Daniel, the brother just quoted the statue, the head of gold, which was the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. The chest of silver was the Medo-Persians. The loins of brass, which was the Greeks. The legs of iron, which was the Romans. And what was the feet, man? It was part iron and part clay. And today you got what, man? You got the weak countries that's a part of that beast, that EU system. And you got the strong countries, man. Why do you think the Brexit happened? Why do you think Germany trying to exit, man? Because it told you in the Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Just like clay don't mix with iron, man.
That's right.
So that horn that came out of that was what? America, man. And it took down 3 horns. The Revolutionary War was against what? England, man. Then you had the Spanish-American War, then the French-American War, man. And they go your 3 horns that it took down. And after that, America was established as what? As that power, man. You know?
That's right. They work together as a unit, even though they call themselves different kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Spain is called Spain, France is France, Germany is Germany, all right, Britain is Britain, but they all work together in unison, man. So that's why they differ, but it's the same beast system, man. It's still the Edomites, and it's still got one as the face of the company, the whore that rode the beast, America. It all ties in together, man. It's just different visions, man, and it's telling you the same things.
That's right.
That little horn is the whore that rode the beast. That little, it's that simple.
Yeah.
That little horn is the one that took down the 3 kings, but was diverse because it still was working with the kingdom. The 10 horns gave power to the beast. The Treaty of Rome. Okay, who was the 4th beast? It said when Yahushua came on the scene, that's the end days. Esau's the end, right?
Yep.
Let's keep going. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume it, to destroy it until the end. So he was going to rule. He was going to have his period of time to rule over us, man. The time and times, dividing time is what
350 years,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man.
Was what roughly 1620 to 1970, man.
And that's when we started waking back up, according to Revelation 11.
Yep.
They will see our dead bodies lying in the streets, and they shall see us wake up and be afraid.
Yep, 3 days and a half.
That's right.
We're gonna rise up, man. Which lines up with Obadiah. It says what? When thou set thy nest among the stars, when did they do that? That was the so-called space race, man. That was what? The late 60s, the early 70s,
That's
man.
right.
See, this is all prophecy, man. That nobody can gainsay nor resist, man. Not even Esau with all his bullshit, man.
Right.
Because your own history proves these scriptures, man.
Yeah. And what's happening is it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to fulfill these scriptures, man. And he said he's going to use his men who are despised, you know what I'm saying, to bring to naught them that are. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, you know, who has something?
I'm still reading. He has something. Yeah, appreciate it.
I had the Obadiah quoted.
Yeah, you read it, bro.
This is Obadiah 1 and 4. Thou through wait
No. No.
Though thou exalted thyself as the eagle.
And what was the symbol of Rome? What's the symbol of America? Right? See, because Esau, Edom, your characteristics line up with the personality of Esau, Edom in these scriptures, man. You know, you can't hide, man. Go here.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down.
Hey, and when we started waking up, guess what? You started going down, man.
That's right.
All right. Hey, it's a precept. Back up the brother. It's 2 Thessalonians 2. And we started 3. Let no man deceive you, but any means, for that shall not come except falling away first. And that a man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Yep, exactly what the Lord told Cain, man. That he would be what? The ruler of sin, man.
That's right.
That man of sin. You see? And it said that great falling away had to happen, man. So we had to discontinue from our heritage. See, this is all prophecy that had to take place. About the brother read Acts 1. They said, "Will thou at this time restore?" That's why Yahushua said it ain't for you to know the times and seasons, man. Because everything still had to play itself out, you know.
Verse 4 it says, "Who oppose and exalt itself above all that is called the Most High, who that is worship, so that he as Yahweh sit in the temple of Yahweh."
So who calling themselves to be the Most High, man? Who painted himself? Hey, we just read it. You know, if they painted the likeness of their images, man. So who set themselves up to be the that chief judge, man? Who set themselves up to be that God? You painted over our Messiah, man, and showed the whole world that what you was the Son of God.
Right, which is flat out proof that you are the Job 9:24 wicked, man. All right, because you put yourself as the ultimate judges. You put your image as the Lord. You put your image as Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
That's right. That's right.
Your image as the angels. Your images as the Israelites. You are the judges, man. Yeah, you even put yourself as the image of the judges of other lands. You the fucking Egyptians.
Tom Cruise as the last samurai.
Right, man. Goddamn.
Everybody. Hey, but you know, that's part of, might as well get it real quick. That's part of the prophecies that's how he was gonna be. Another telltale sign of who the wicked is, who Esau Edom is. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, "Yea." You want to get it?
No, go ahead.
"Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." That's who that's his MO. That's his makeup. You know?
Hey, the same thing Antiochus did. He wrote that letter that all his kingdom should be one. He heapeth unto him all people, man. The same thing the Romans did. Same thing Americans doing today, man.
That's right. That's their MO. That's just another telltale sign, man. You know? But you got to be spiritual to really get it. And the Most High have to be dealing with you, you know? Because we can tell you all day and go precept upon precept, go through the history, you know, and show you that matches up right with, you know, their history. And that was a big reason, part of the reason why they took the Apocrypha out. You know, it names, Jack. Go ahead.
You was back in there, or?
Oh no, Daniel done with. I was thinking about Daniel 9 because it tells you how Yahushua would come and then he would be crucified and then we would suffer.
Mhm.
But the numbers line up in that 400 years, a little over 400 years. Who was ruling in that 400 years, man? That'll be the time of the Romans. And Yahushua came on the scene those last days. So to be that fourth beast, all right? Which means they had to kill Yahushua as he kept telling the disciples, the apostles, and then we would have to, Jerusalem would suffer to the times of the Gentiles been fulfilled. That's all in Daniel, actually. That's all in Daniel, man. And this is Lamentations 4:21.
Mm-hmm.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Hey, who came to seal up, to take sin out, to take sin away from us, man? I believe, like as Isaiah 53 says, and there's another one. Damn, I can't remember.
I know.
Take iniquity from the.
I know it's Daniel 9.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about Daniel 9 again. Damn, Salakia. Daniel 9, man, and it said heavy on my spirit. But also to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, the year of his redeemed. All that happened under whose watch? Edom. Point to this. But Israel didn't get saved back then. Because Edom had to come back again with that daily womb. They had to be impoverished and build over. The punishment by iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And this is the time of this being fulfilled, man. It's prophesied that Esau would be at the end, but he had to take us down, man. That great falling away. That didn't happen during the Roman Empire.
That's back you up. This is 2nd Esdras 11 and 39. It says, "Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?" The four beasts that was in Daniel, right?
Yeah.
That we read about, 2nd Esdras 11 and 39.
Go ahead.
It says, "Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?" Right? So whoever was ruling the fourth beast, man, hey, is going to be ruling at the end time. It says, "And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness." Right? They couldn't stand up against them, those Romans, and over the whole compass of the earth, which with much wicked oppressing. We read the Luke 2 that he said that all the world shall be taxed, man. It says, "And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit, for the earth has thou not judged with truth." And then brother read the Psalms and said, "What do you judge uprightly? Oh, ye sons of men," it's talking about the Edomites, man. Why? Because the earth has been given into their hands, man. It says, "For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm."
The king, since the time of John the Baptist,
Yep.
the king haven't suffered violence. Hey, and it says what? That they told us to lay down our bodies and lay down and walked over us.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that real fast. This is the book of Isaiah 58. Is it 58? About the bulls on the corner. Is it 52? Isaiah 51 and 23. I started 22. It says, "Thus saith thy Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again," which goes to Lamentations, man. Why? Because it's going into the hands of Esau Edom. It says, "But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over." You know, and ultimately, man, we're going to get that retribution against all these nations, man. Chiefly Esau Edom, man. Habakkuk speaks about I have wounded the head of the wicked. You know, so once the rest of these heathens see Esau Edom get their ass knocked out, man, they're gonna be like Red's daddy, man. "You want something too, old man?" No. You know, it says Verse 43, 2nd Esdras 11 and 43, it says, therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up to the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, man. Why? Because that deadly they had was wounded unto death, man. You know, that was when the pagan Roman Empire was took down and destroyed. Verse 46, it says that all the earth may be refreshed and may return. That was that 1,000 years that the devil was put in chains, according to Revelation 20. It says, being delivered from thy violence, and it lets you know that that's the violent man, you know, that's the violent that oppressed the kingdom of heaven, you know. It says that, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. And that's how we know that this is talking about what? The ancient pagan empire, man. But this ain't talking about America. Because if this was talking about America, why do it still say hope for the judgment? Because hope that is seen is not hope. Once America destroyed, we're going to receive salvation. You see? So that's how you know that this is talking about the ancient pagan Roman Empire, man. That what? That the deadly wound was healed as we going into, man. And now it's reborn, it's reincarnated through who? Through America. You know?
And that's how they always been, man. You know, that's how they always been, from the serpent in Genesis to Cain, you know what I'm saying, to Esau, all right, when he was born. All right. They're the ungodly, you know, and I'm gonna hit this wisdom of Solomon, man. This is, you know, more telltale signs of who they are and what they've done to the chosen people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, right? I'm going to jump down to verse 6. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. They're about their belly. They're about right now. Same thing Cain did. Here it is. You got this wonderful blessing that you got to wait for. All right. You have to be patient for. You have to go through and then just hold up and then get it later. No. He said, you know what? Here, I don't even want this. What's good? Because this do me now. You know what I'm saying? Let me get them lentils with that. You know, it ain't done. Give it to me anyway. Now, you know, he's about right now. He's about his. That's why I said that upon thy belly thou shalt go. You know, you about your just instant gratification, right? That's why in verse 6 it says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by."
Can I preach something real fast? This is Psalm 73, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. Verse 12. It says, "Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world; they increase in riches." Why? Because Habakkuk says he heapeth unto him all people, man. You know, it's in Obadiah it speaks about if the grape gatherers came, would they have not left grapes, man? Why is Esau called the thief, man? You know, because he gathereth unto him all this, man. Why? Because he wanted now.
Yep. And Habakkuk said the upright man. Hey, precept, it say Psalms 43 and verse 1. It say, "Judge me, O Yahweh, and plead my cause against the ungodly nation, or deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man." Who is the unjust man, man? Hey, Esau. Hey, when you go to Psalms 58, and he judged unrightly, man. He's that unjust man.
That's right.
It say, "For there are the power of my strength that have cast me off, for I mourn because the oppressor of thy enemy." Who is man?
Right. They're our enemy, man. You know, and they're unjust. See, we are the just, and they are the unjust. Right. Well, guess what? Now, because of our people you know, has been hoodwinked by them, and they take to their side. Now we have some of our people that's unjust like them. Okay, so back in this Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 7, it says, "Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part in our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place."
Hey, that's that what? That YOLO spirit. I want it now spirit. Whatever fulfills what to do as thou wilt.
Hmm.
That's the thing of Satanism, man. It says whatever feels good, do it.
Yeah. It says, "For this is our portion, and our lot is this." This is what their blessing was, you know, that they're going to get the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and, you know, all that, but for temporary, okay? And how they going to get it? Rob, rape, murder, steal, all right? Go ahead,
This is St. John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly.
Okay, you see, but the thief coming not but to steal, kill, and destroy. That was his portion. That was his lot. All right, they knew it. It says, verse 10, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man." It's like this one of the scriptures the brother just brought out about them oppressing us. All right, this they MO. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age." All right, think of all the atrocities that has happened to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans by the hand of this devil, this ungodly Esau, Edom, the wicked, the so-called white man. All right, that unjust nation. All right, look at all the atrocities that's done happen. They didn't care if you was a baby. They didn't care if you was old. They didn't care what you were, female, male. They don't care. They the devil, right? But it says, verse 11, "Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth."
Right, and it says what? That they frameth mischief by a law, man.
Frameth mischief by a law.
Who does that? By his policy,
Calls
craft to prosper. The
That's
water.
right.
His policy calls craft to prosper. Look, Syria, they commit war crimes against humanity. Let's go bomb the fuck out of their hospitals. That's madness, man. And meanwhile, you over here chemtrailing people in your own land, man. All right?
GMOs.
Right. That's the spirit of America. That's why they got the whole World Council, the EU and NATO, all right? And then spill over to the UN, which is still the same NATO. That you got to be a permanent member to really have pull in that shit, man. So that's still just NATO, man. There's some other heathens supposedly involved, man. And they decide on what they police around the world, man. All right, that's part of that fourth different beast, man. That's Esau Edom doing that.
Right.
Established world domination, man. People look at America as the world police. In fact, America made a whole movie about it. It was a damn joke, man. The world police. Let our stuff be law and order. It's all deceit.
That's right. Back in his wisdom, you have something?
Hey, was the weapons of mass destruction? It's all deceit. They ain't find it because they was lying to get over into that land and fuck them up.
This is back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 12, which was my point. Therefore, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. All right, so this ungodly nation is saying, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. Who are the righteous? The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, because he is not of our turn. So the unjust, the wicked, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is saying about the righteous, the Israelites, that we are not for their turn. And they're right. It says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. So they're in their mind, in which they're right about this, we, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the righteous people, are clean contrary to their doings. And their doings, the so-called white man, is clean contrary to our doings. The Israelites, you got something?
This is Esther 3 and verse 8. And Haman, being what? An Agagite, an Amalekite, an Edomite, right? And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. Right? If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. You know?
So Haman, he was clean contrary to the doings of the Israelites. And he wanted them massacred. He wanted them utterly destroyed. All right? And by any means necessary, he was going to do it.
He got to kill his own. He really got to kill a portion of his own. All right? He'll fucking chemtrail the fuck out of you to do it, man.
Yeah, hey, because that shows that perpetual hatred. See, because here it is. This was Haman. You know, he wasn't in the power seat yet. It was the Persians. But he went to the king and then, hey, man, look, these fuckers, you know.
And he was good. He said the king, he was top on the list of the king. He bragged about it. He said, but none of it meant shit unless he killed the Israelites.
Yep. And that's the day, man. When you read Psalms 83, who was the first one? It says the tabernacles of Edom. So it shows you who's spearheading this hatred, this attack towards Jake, man.
That's right. I got another for you. This is 1 John 3 and 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother, and who was called the boy of wickedness, Esau. Esau is that seed of Cain on this side of the flood, man.
That's right.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother, and wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
Yep.
That's the reason why, man.
Yep. And that's to this day, man. You know, it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. All right. That is what it's all about with them. Okay. And that's why, as matter of fact, by all means necessary, and the brother said, hey, they'll take out some of their own just to get us. And reminded me of this scripture. This is Sirach 14 and 5. It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his own goods.
Right. He got all this shit that he could ever wanted. Well, fuck that. As long as he thinks he's alive, let's kill him. Risk it all for it. You better believe he, as a body unit, he'll risk some of his own fucking people. He won't take pleasure in none of them. He can't even enjoy having the world at his whims. He got to go further the affliction upon us. He can't even enjoy having control over the world. He's mad as hell that we exist.
Yeah, that's the devil for you, man. You know, the devil incarnate, man. And that's who they are. Go ahead.
This second Ezra, just real quick. It's gonna be swift. Second Ezra 16 and 49. Like as an whore envieth a right, and it says a right, honest, and virtuous woman.
That's right. The same thing, man. You know, and then that's the Israelites, namely the elect. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he's about, man. He's clean contrary to our doings, man. And our doings makes us the righteous, man. All right? Our doings, when we doing what's right, makes us the righteous. All right? And the righteous people, when they're in authority, matter of fact, somebody get that 29 and 2 for me. You know, when you got it? Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Once again, this Sirach chapter 10 and 4, it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. So the authority of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. In due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. So right now, the people that's running in the authority right now of the earth is not profitable for the earth. It's not profitable for the people that they're ruling over.
Hey, the Lord said to give a reward to his servants and prophets, and to destroy them that destroyeth the earth, man.
That's right. Right.
You know?
So when we destroy them that destroyed the earth, and one that is profitable is set up, which is the Israelites, all right, then you can get the second part of this verse. Or no, the first part of this verse. Read.
Read over this Proverbs 2:92.
When
the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Right. So when you got some?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This Wisdom of Solomon 6:24. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people.
Upholding of the people. All right. Because when the righteous are in authority, that means that the righteous are going to be ruling over some people. The righteous are the righteous nation, all right, which is the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When we are in authority, all right, the people are going to rejoice. The people that we rule over are going to rejoice. Read.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So right now, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked is in authority right now. Okay? The wicked people, the wicked nation is in authority right now. And it's unprofitable. It's unprofitable to the earth. It's unprofitable to their subjects. Go ahead.
Well, it's fucking islands of trash pollution, man. It's just fucking islands of trash pollution. You have space pollution. You have whole ecosystems destroyed. You have all type of animals going extinct. And you got men going extinct, man. These people are faggots out here, man.
They say it's an area in the ocean the size of Texas that is nothing but fucking garbage floating there.
What about the space garbage?
Yeah. He mentioned it. Yeah, he said space pollution.
Yeah.
How you pollute space?
Right.
You know?
Right.
This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. Verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Why?
Because they have transgressed the laws.
Right, like you said, they are clean contrary to us, man. So they're the complete opposite of us.
That's it.
So us being like you said, the righteous that keep the laws, they go do everything against that, man. They make homosexuality okay, being a tranny, not giving a land Sabbath, being a harlot, which puts a whole different spiritual vibration out there. The land suffers from that alone.
Yeah.
All right, and everything else that's in that's mentioned in the scripture. All right, every other inordinate affection, going after a world based off going after your flesh, a world based off going after your covetousness, man. This is what they have made, man. Complete lawlessness. Who else watches this done under? They mentioned this in the first Maccabees, the 3rd chapter. That's why the land didn't give us increase, and they couldn't pay the damn treasury, man. And who was that? The Edomites, the same wicked, man.
That's it.
Not Japheth. Those Grecians that were ruling, those wasn't the original Japhites that had that land, man. They already been taken down. Okay? You got to do some history, man. Alexander wasn't even a Greek. All right?
Right.
This is it says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the earth, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
That's the last option, man. This destruction is it. It gotta come. Because what does Matthew 24 say? It says that unless the Lord shorten those days, nobody should survive it, man. But for the elect's sake, he shortened it, man.
Right. As a matter of fact, also it's in that second address. Then cannot it come that matter of fact, let me just get it real quick. Right. This is second address chapter 4, I'll start at 28. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. All right. And what's sown with good? The place where the righteous are going to be in authority, which is the kingdom of Yahushua, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the Israelites.
That's
All right. That we're going to take. And like the brother was reading in that Daniel's, where we're going to, matter of fact, I got it right here. Daniel chapter 7 and 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever, even forever. Why are we going to rule it forever and ever, even forever? Because we ain't going to have no unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
That's right.
It's not going to need to be translated to another people, because the righteous people are going to be righteous, and we're going to be ruling over the kingdom righteously.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is the foundation of the earth, which now has been turned upside down, is out of course right now because of the inhabitants that's ruling. All right. But now it's going to get turned right side up. And when it get turned right side up, there's no need to do nothing else because it's right side up. And the righteous are going to rule it forever and ever, even forever.
Yep. Hey, because it coincides with what the promise, you know, the word that he gave King David, you know, that King Solomon will reign forever and ever, man. And that's the throne of Yahushua, man.
Yeah,
it's an everlasting kingdom.
And guess what? And that's good for all people,
That's
all nations, because the righteous are going to be in authority. That means who we're going to be ruling over is going to rejoice. You got something?
They said they should not learn war no more. Y'all, you heathens gonna be fighting each other, man. It's gonna be peace.
That's it. That's it. That's what it's all about, man. See, we must tell you about the things, Jacob's trouble to come, the recompense that we got to give you other nations, and you going into slavery, and you know, and so you hear all that, and now you hate us. But at the end of it all, there was a means to an end, my white friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A means to an end.
Hey, the Sirach 39 we read in class, man. Because at the end, they gonna see that, you know, it was everything, you know.
That's it. You got it. Go ahead.
This Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Look at the world today, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Right now, while they still in power, Esau, Edom, because we're at the end of the end, and we read the second Esdras chapter 6. It says, hey, at the end it's going to be Esau, but after him is going to, you know, be Jacob. You know. But while Esau is still in rulership, even though they're circling the drain, but we still mourning, man. The earth, the foundations of the earth are out of course. We still got chemtrails in the air, GMOs in the food. You know, everything about this place is synthetic.
I'll just say everything in the food except for food.
Right, everything in the food except for food. You know,
plastic rice,
everything, man. Everything about this place,
this
man,
shit crazy.
Is ass backwards, and that's why the people are mourning. The earth itself is mourning. Okay,
Plastic rice, yeah, I fucked up all this shit.
You know,
it's crazy.
See, but very, very soon, one that is profitable is going to be over the earth, man. You know, this here is jacked up, man. You know, somebody got something?
You want that Sirach 39?
I got it. I was going with it.
Oh, okay. I wanted to, it was a couple of times I wanted to hit this one. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. This is Second Esdras chapter 3, verse 30. It says, "For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified. I do not remember this way may be left, and I mean, are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? So are these heathens better than your chosen children, the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Verse 32, it says, or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation has so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh there thou for our wickedness in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found, but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Okay, so we were the closest one to at least attempt and try to do it. And at one point, it was, going pretty good for a while during the time of, King David or King Solomon, even when there wasn't no wars and stuff, But of course, we messed up. But, these heathen, they ain't thinking about it. They can't. It ain't for them. And that's why everything is going to be backward ass with a heathen in power. That's why we need the one that is profitable to be in authority, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Go ahead, bro. Unless somebody got something.
You have something? This is Rock 39. I'm going to start at 15. Magnify his name and show forth his praise with the songs of your lips and with harps. And in praising him, ye shall say after this manner, all the works of Yahweh are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commanded shall be accomplished in due season. So as the Lord, as Yahweh told the disciples, look, it's not for you to know the good times, man. All right, the Lord set this up according to his pleasure and will. At that time, Israel wasn't be established. Esau had to do what he had to do, man. He had to fuck us up more, okay? And he had to make it all the way to this point right now, man, okay? But guess what? This was still a good thing, all right? And none may say, what is this? What for is that? At time convenient, they shall all be sought out. And his commandment, the water stood as an heap, and as the words of his mouth, the receptacles of waters. The Lord set everything up according to his word. He fashioned the heavens, the waters in the sky, the waters that separated, and the waters that's in between, man. And his commandments and his commandment is done whatsoever pleased him, and none can hinder when he shall save. He set it up when it was going to be time to overthrow this kingdom and to save his elect. He said he would have, he will send his prophets to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord when he chooses, man. All right, when he's ready to take down these damn devils and set up Israel, man. Guess when he was ready to put us in captivity, he did just that. So when it's time to save, ain't nobody gonna be able to stop that. We couldn't stop our captivity. They ain't gonna be able to stop theirs. They ain't gonna be able to stop this salvation.
He said he got a bounds that he cannot pass, man.
That's right. That's right. Verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So when it's time for destruction, guess what? It's all gonna come upon you. We in that time, man. Right. That's why you can't get cool with Russia. That's why you can't leave Syria. That's why all this great death is coming upon you, heathens, man. It's your time, Esau. Therefore, from the beginning, I was resolved and thought upon these things and have left them in writing. All the works of the Lord are good. All the works of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh are good. And he will give every needful thing in due season. So that a man cannot say
every needful thing in due season. And what's needful? It says one that's profitable, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, when Yahweh crack those clouds, man, he gonna reign on the throne, man.
Be right on time.
Not
a second's too soon, not a second too late. Motherfucker, oh shit. Damn. It's gonna get worse than this out here, man. So that a man cannot say this is worse than that. For the time that should be well approved. So when the Lord says it's time, That's gonna be the best time for him to come, man. All right. And therefore praise ye Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai with the whole heart and mouth, and bless the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Let me leave it just in time, man. So with that, hopefully this is edifying. Anybody say anything else?
No, well, I mean, just the fact that, hey, you know, Esau is about to go down. We're in the last days of the last days. Not the beginning, but the end of the last days. And matter of fact, like I said, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites, are the beginning of it that follow. All right? Huh? Well, I mean, I just quoted. That's cool. Yeah. So go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So with that, hope this is edifying. All praises, honor, glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to the apostles. And salutations, brothers, doing this thing in sincerity and truth and charity. Shalom.
Shalom.